Dan Gilman.
And I am Zach Gadzarowski of Mygamer.com.
And we are playing Nuclear Throne this week. And this is the settings menu, and I just wanted to show you that at least they're honest about when stuff doesn't work on this game. Because literally going to the options menu and it says, like, not working. So, yeah, at least they're honest about this. So this is Nuclear Throne. It is a roguelike game. If you, there's a bunch of them out there.
I like the art style.
Yeah, it's a Lambeard game. They're all kind of, sort of like this.
Yeah, I like this.
It is mouse and keyboard as well as controller. But it's also like one of those things that it's like, I really have no idea why you would ever use a controller on this game.
It's basically just like a twin-stick shooter.
Very much so, yeah. But with some RPG elements, and I mean, you level up as you go. I don't really want to go bulk up and max energy. Okay. Did I miss someone? Oh, there's an entire other area. You level up as you go. When you level up, you actually gain abilities. So if you gain enough levels, you can say, like, well, here we go. So here are my choices that I can gain. Like, I can get faster, I can get more health, higher rate of fire as my hit points go lower, and better when I punch people, I'm gonna get faster. And, well, and the cool thing is, Vlambeard, the people who are making this game, if you subscribe to them on Twitch, they just give you the game. They're like, yeah, you've, like, you know, you're watching us literally develop the game, and you're paying us, like, $4 a month. I think it's, like, a one-time fee of, like, $10 or something. They just give you a code for the game, though.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So this game came out, like, around this time last year?
Well, I mean, it's technically not out.
Yeah, right, yes. When it was first open to the public, I guess, maybe.
Yes, that is it. Technically, it's sort of been out for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like they still are changing stuff. Like, I would not. I think they're kind of doing the early access thing well. I guess there's, like, still plans to release it on consoles.
Yeah, I see that. I just did a quick Google search, and there's, let's see, a PS4 version in the works. I think there's even talk about a Vita version.
Yeah, I guess Sony has been very, very, very kind to them.
Yeah.
Like, they were one of the few, like, one of the people that were, like, the indie developers that, like, Sony reached out to and was like, you know, hey, we'd love for your games to be on the PS3. What can we do? And, like, just, you know, went out of their way to talk to them. And I guess at E3 this year, like, one of the, like, the fish guy that you could play as was, like, walking around in the costume. And, like, the creator was supposedly almost in tears when he saw it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because he's like, they had literally told me that they were going to use one of my creations. I didn't know what for. And, like, he thought it was just going to be, like, some weird, like, you know, catches in 2015. And it was, like, it was just, like, walking around. They were fully promoting it. He's like, yeah, they were very cool to us.
Yeah, that's cool that they're reaching out to indie developers like that.
Yeah, and, this game is made actually in Game Maker, which is pretty much the... Hey, is that Spuds?
Spuds said hey.
Yeah, Spuds is in the chat, no shit.
What happened to that guy?
Yeah, I thought he fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, pretty much. But I know Sony was trying to be big on the indies because Microsoft wasn't as into indies, and it was like a pain in the ass if you ever want to update your game. So Sony, I think, made it their point, well, this is something that we can easily battle Microsoft on to help sell some consoles.
Yeah, well, and not only that, but, like, it was, I'm trying to remember who Jonathan Blow, the guy who did Braid.
Yeah.
Like, even at the unveiling of the PS4, he was like, you know, look, they're having me on stage, and I'm not gonna lie, this is gonna be on the, you know, Xbox One as well, but it's first on, it's gonna, all of the features are on Sony, because Microsoft hasn't even given me a dev kit yet. And it's like...
Yeah, it's something, yeah, so Sony was like, well, this is something that we can fight Microsoft. You know, and it's like, why not? Why not have indies and have these indie games available? You know, it's just an easy bullet point for Sony to hit and hit hard, whereas Microsoft is because it's kind of a pain in the ass.
You know, Spuds, it's not an inaccurate thing to say when you leave the country and we don't hear from you ever again, aside from you, like, texting me twice to say, I fucking hate South Korea. So how is South Korea? Yeah, he has, from what I can gather, some horror stories about South Korea.
Oh yeah, because he went there.
Yeah, to
that's
like
right, I forgot
teach or some bullshit. Everyone who's listening to this, shitty. Spuds at one point was a writer for Mygamer, and then he abandoned us to pursue his dreams of, I think, being deported from every country he could be.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think it was committing as many felonies in as many different places.
Yeah, it's like how many countries can I piss off simultaneously?
I don't want to... Oh, yeah, I died. I think at one point I was a writer. Okay. At one point I was an underwear model. See, I can make stuff up too. That's right, you were at one point.
And we all went to E3 together.
We did go to E3. That's right, that was like fucking forever ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, I hate this guy. So yeah, the point of this game is quick play, quick turnaround.
Just kind of how far can you get?
How far can you get? It's sort of like Binding of Isaac.
Or a Spelunky. But no, obviously not side scroll. I mean, just in terms of how far can you get? You're going for a high score.
Well, you can actually beat the game. If you've ever played Binding of Isaac, it reminds me more. Was that 2000?
We streamed Binding of Isaac.
Did we?
Yeah.
We've streamed a lot of shit. Like, I've gone back and looked, and we have streamed a lot of games.
Yeah, we streamed Binding of Isaac. That was several months ago.
Months? That might have been like years ago at this point. Dude, we started streaming 2 years ago this Christmas, or this January.
So yeah, I know we streamed it. I remember because I always wanted to play that game, but I never had the opportunity to. So I was excited about that stream and checking it out.
It's decent, and you can, like, especially for PC, you can pick it up for a song.
Oh yeah, and apparently it was supposed to, or still is supposed to come to Xbox One or PS4.
They're re-releasing.
Yeah.
Everything. Let's see what that does. There's a remastered Binding of Isaac, and the trailer for it is fucked up as shit. You know, kind of like you'd expect out of that. Was that 2010 that we...
Yes, I think that was 2010 when we went to E3.
I think that sounds right. It might have been. Like, it was a long fucking time ago.
So there's a bunch of different playable characters here, and they each have their own strengths and weaknesses then?
And they each have shit that they can individually do, yeah.
Yeah. Is this game only one player?
I just noticed there's a co-op option, and I don't know if that's new or not. Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo's, from what I've heard from indie developers, is Nintendo's weird about what they will and will not.
Yeah, I thought there was even rumors that Binding of Isaac was supposed to come to Wii U or something too. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, if you're a game developer, it doesn't make sense to not have your game on every system.
Especially a game like this, like, you know, anything can run this game. The 3DS can run this game right here. A simple 2D game.
Yeah. Well, this...
You don't need extra horsepower to...
Yeah. Ah! What the fuck? Yeah, these guys, kind of release stuff really quickly, though. They're very kind of, like... I think they release a couple games a year. At one point, they were doing, like, a game a month, I think. They weren't, like, charging for them, but... Nintendo Revolution, maybe Nintendo... be the forefront. Cause cheap dev kit. Oh yeah! Well, and everyone said that it would like prolong the life of the PS2, and it's like, if anything, the PS2 gave the Wii life because it was the best-selling video game system ever. Oh wait, that's the Wii now, isn't it? And you can probably hear my chinchilla in the background.
He wants to join in. He's here every week.
Well, not every week. Most weeks.
Almost every week.
Yeah. I think he's pissed I forgot to feed him.
Either that or he really likes our streams, or he really hates our streams.
Yeah. Or he just disagrees with most things I say.
Yeah. Either way, he has a strong opinion.
Yeah. Well, he is a jerk. I've always agreed with that fact. So, Spuds, what are you doing nowadays, now that you're not writing for Mygamer? Aside from getting deported from every country.
Yeah.
I've only been deported from Canada.
Well, no one needs to go there anyway.
Wait, have you not been to Canada?
No, not yet.
I've gotten deported.
So is Spuds in, like, every continent.
Yeah! Well, you start with the continents and then move on. Like, you have to start big and then go small. I write for Turner Sports and CNN. Yeah, I can lie about shit, too.
You know what this game kind of reminds me of? You ever play Yoda Stories? Like years, like a long ass time ago. It was like a 2D top-down game, kind of like Chips Challenge. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of that.
I don't think I played Chips Challenge.
Yeah, it's an old PC game, Windows 95.
Did it have anything to do with...
It was like on par with Ski Free.
Well, I was going to say, did it have anything to do with Chips, the motorcycle cop show?
No. No. This was Chips as in computer chips. And it was a really geeky, top-down 2D kind of puzzle game.
Akari Warriors.
Kind of.
Yeah. I kind of want to disagree just because Spud said it.
Well, Akari Warriors was only linear one way. This you can kind of move.
So there you go. He's entirely wrong.
It is a run and gun.
fuck
So
is a pop gun?
Friday is Bayonetta 2.
Yeah,
which
we thought we were gonna stream this week, but
yeah, because Nintendo's been releasing games on Fridays now,
which is like really fun. Like
yeah, before it was Sundays. Like they just kind of do whatever they want.
yeah, it's weird because like it's not even Nintendo that's publishing that though, right?
Yeah. It's like the new Smash Brothers is going to come out on a Friday too.
Yeah, and I get that, but like that's a first-party game. This is like
Nintendo's kind of
platinum.
Yeah, they're kind of treating this game like a first-party game, even though it's not, just because it's something that it's been getting a lot of press. The early reviews have been very positive, and it's something that no other console has. And that's a big-name game that all like.
Well, some of the early reviews have been positive.
A lot of like fans and stuff have been on Nush's board saying, "I want Bayonetta 2 on Xbox or PS4 or whatever," but you know that's just not going to happen.
Well, Nintendo like locked this down.
Exactly, yeah. So
long, like this was like they announced this with the Wii U, did they?
I think so. If not with the Wii U, like shortly after,
yeah.
Because they needed to secure some kind of a big name. Because this is really like the only big name third-party game. I mean, really that they have. You know,
Monster
that has
Hunter.
some groundwork. That isn't a brand new IP.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Okay. But Monster Hunter is also going to be on other. I mean, isn't like a 3DS version too? I mean, which is granted also Nintendo, of course, but.
Yeah, but like Monster Hunter sells systems.
In Japan, for sure it does.
Yeah. Well, in America, like if you're a Monster Hunter fan, you're going to buy that system. You're going to buy a system for Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if it's like on the Vita, if it's on the 3DS, you're going to make sure you have that system.
Yep. Yeah, it's a pretty rad fan base.
I actually have gotten pretty close this week to buying a Vita TV.
Oh, the PlayStation TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I would buy one just to play my PSP games, but I have all my PSP. I mean, I spent years building up my UMD library, and I only have like a couple of games digital. So it's like I don't want to fucking rebuy all my games again. I would love to play that shit on my TV.
I think it takes UMDs.
No, it does not take UMDs. It only you can play PSP games, but only digitally with.
No. For Vita, you not UMD. Whatever the Vita thing is called.
The what? What do you mean?
The Vita cards.
Oh, the Vita memory card.
No, yeah, or the Vita sticks, or whatever the games.
the Vita. Yes. So it takes the Vita memory cards as well as Vita
games.
Cartridge. Yeah, like they're not cards. They're cards. Yeah, and yes, you can plug a Vita card in on the PlayStation TV. But then in order to play PSP games, you have to have the digital PSN version, and you have to save it to a Vita memory card and then play it.
Oh god, those things are so fucking expensive.
Oh yeah, well that's how all Sony proprietary. I mean, look at like the Memory Stick Pro Duos. I mean, those are fucking expensive as shit. And so it's the same. It's the same way with the Vita. And so I would get one for $100. Yeah, sure, sign me up. But there's even like no Netflix app and stuff like that on there yet. But I would love to play.
I'd imagine that you could like run the Netflix app. There's no reason you couldn't.
I guess
and
there's
supposedly from what I've heard in passing is that like what was it? It was like something weird. Like they are confirming that games are 100% compatible one at a time, but for the most part, the only reason that something really wouldn't be compatible,
with the touchscreen,
is the touchscreen. Yeah,
the touchscreen camera and microphone and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, isn't good. But I even heard like Uncharted doesn't work.
Uncharted had touchscreen.
So you can't.
Yeah, that's why they said it doesn't work.
I didn't. Was it touchscreen like you had to use the touchscreen?
Yeah, there were like some puzzles you had to like brush like dust off or something stupid like that.
Yeah. I mean, which is I mean, that's like one of like.
It was a launch. It was a launch.
One of their launch flagship games, and still is one of their bigger games, but man, I would love to play like Final Fantasy Tactics, you know, on my TV through the, you know, with the PlayStation 3 controller. That'd be awesome. Like that is like I would hands down put $100.
Yeah,
if they played UMDs, I would buy one right now. I'd go out to the store and I'd buy one right now because I have all my shit on UMD still.
I actually have an odd amount of PSP stuff on, like, that I had gotten digitally. And, like, it's weird because, like, when I got my Vita, I went through and, like, re-downloaded a bunch of it, and I'm like, I don't know why I have this digitally.
Yeah, or you might have got it, like, free if you were a PlayStation Plus member back in the day. Something could have been super ass cheap that you just bought.
It could have been a review copy.
Yeah, it could. Oh, yeah, it could have been review stuff that we got, sure. But man, so if you buy a PlayStation TV, you got to buy a Vita memory card, and you got to buy at least, at like the bare minimum, what, like an 8 gig card if you want to really do like anything. I mean, in reality, you really should be buying like a 32 gig card, but those things are still fucking super expensive. I hate swapping stuff out.
A friend of mine and I are talking about like dropping $100 and importing one from Japan for a 64 gig, so we don't have to worry about memory anymore. And it's like I had a 32 gig PSP card, and I don't think I paid $100 for it then.
Oh. Yeah. The PSP stuff came down in price, PSP memory cards, in a little bit of time because Sony allowed SanDisk to make some too. So there was a Sony brand and the SanDisk version. So they didn't just have one. You can only buy the Sony brand. Plus, in time, more people started buying them, so the price started to drop a little bit.
Yeah.
But right now, it's still expensive.
But it's been out for 2 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's still. I mean, the prices have come down, but nothing
like it should.
Nothing extreme. Yeah, nothing. Yeah. There's still not SD card prices that's for sure.
There was just like a random air horn that played.
What was that? Was that in the game? I thought that was like outside.
No, I'm pretty sure that was the game. This company also did loop browsers where you play as like. They went on full spin control to say like, oh, you're totally not playing as Nazis. You're fucking playing as Nazis.
Yeah.
But it's like an alternate history. There's fucking like anti-gravity stuff.
Oh.
And like Zeppelins are like a thing that works well. So.
Speaking of zombie Nazis, we didn't stream the latest Wolfenstein, did we? We never got that.
No. But apparently everyone else did.
Did you play that game?
I have not, no.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. But yeah, Bayonetta 2 is this Friday, which is a weird day to release games on.
No, that was New Guy that you refused to learn the name of.
Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, gotcha, okay.
And it's funny because like he'll randomly talk to me and he's like, "Does Zach not like me?" And I'm like, "No, he's accepted you. He even calls you New Guy." He's like, "That's not my name," and I'm like, "No, but he's not going to learn your name for a while."
Well, it's a step in the right direction.
I'm like, it's Zach. He doesn't fucking care. Like, he's just gonna call you New Guy for
probably fucking the next 5 years.
Yeah. Or until we get someone else, and he's like,
and then,
fuck, I'm gonna have to learn this guy. I'm gonna have to learn old New Guy's name.
Yeah. Are these levels randomly generated?
Yeah, they're roguelikes. That's the definition of a roguelike. Because
this first level that you're playing here seemed to be like the level that we just played when you first started off with the other character, maybe.
Oh, yeah. They're all random.
Yeah. So the last guy you kill makes that black hole, you go in the black hole, which
and it drops you down to the next level.
Yeah.
And the goal is to reach...
So the goal is to kill everything.
It's to reach the nuclear throne, which is like the last level.
But in each level, you have to kill each.
Yeah, you kill everything.
Yes.
And then that opens, and you proceed deeper.
Okay, so those green things are the bullets. More ammunition.
Bullets are bullets. Ooh, I don't know. Sure. You pick up bullets from the chests, or it's an ability you can have.
Yeah, the things that, pop up. While we're on the topic of new games that are about to come out, let me...
Smash.
Well, of course, yeah, we got Smash. I mean, that's at the very end of, right before Black Friday. Of course, I'm excited about the Halo Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, oh, fuck yeah, that's coming out. I thought, Smash was the last game. I just watched someone playing Sunset Overdrive today, and it looked kind of boring.
That's, Microsoft is making a big deal about it because it's another exclusive, and they even have the Sunset Overdrive console, which is a white console instead of the typical black.
Yeah, the game kind of looks boring.
And that comes out, I think, next week.
The 28th.
Next week. And then,
days mean nothing to me.
Yeah, of course, the new Call of Duty, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, the new Call of Duty, that's going to be the same as every other Call of Duty.
Final Fantasy Type O comes out on March 17th.
Type O HD, because that game has been out forever.
Yeah, in Japan.
Yeah.
That was on PSP, wasn't it?
Yeah. And the correct name is Final Fantasy 13 Type O.
Agito or something?
It's Final Fantasy 13 Type O, and they're just calling it Type O in America. So,
because why not?
No, because they want to get as far away from the Type O name that you can.
Nobody in America even knows what the hell that means anyway.
The 13 name?
No, just Type O.
I think it's a blood type. I don't know, they just want to get the fuck away from Final Fantasy 13 name. Because it's remember when they were like, oh, this is going to last a decade. We're going to be talking about Final Fantasy for decades to come. And it's like, no, everyone fucking wants that, Final Fantasy 13 just to die. It's like the worst main character in a really fucking long time.
If you buy it, you get a code
rebate?
For Final Fantasy 15 or something. You get a demo.
Fuck that. I actually I could not care less about Final Fantasy games anymore. At all.
Oh, well, I mean, 13 had big-time problems, of course. 14 had tremendous problems.
I like 14.
No, now you do, when it was original.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But it's the guy that was in charge of all the Final Fantasies, they haven't let him do anything in a really long time, and they just officially gave him the boot. Also, I own Final Fantasy 13 on 2 different consoles, and I've never beat it on either one of them.
I bought it at launch, and I never played all the way through it, because I was like, I don't really like this game, and I'm not going to waste my time.
It was definitely one of those instances that I was just kind of like, oh, this is really cheap. I bet if I play it, because I got it on, the 360 for some reason. Oh, because I wanted achievements. It came out when I still cared about achievements.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I'll play through it on this and get all of the achievements, because it's a Final Fantasy, and I always play through all of the Final Fantasies. And then, halfway through, I'm just like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah, I was the same way. I probably got about 50% of the way through, and I was like, I don't really just want to play this anymore. This is not really that good. Oh, the other big game that I forgot to mention, there's 2 Assassin's Creed games. There's Unity on the second, and then Rogue. So 2 games on one day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so this coming week, this Friday is Bayonetta 2. Then you got Sunset Overdrive next week. Then the following week you got your Assassin's Creeds, as well as Call of Duty. And let's see here. Oh no, it says Oh, Xbox. Oh, that's the.
Hey, gentlemen.
Hey! It's a voice from the dead.
Not from the dead.
Okay, from the deported from everyone else.
Alright, I left all of my own free will except for England.
Okay. You've only been deported from one country.
It wasn't really deported, just... England is really, really asshole-ish at the border. Like, when you fly in, like, seriously, I had a boat and a plane ticket out of there booked. Like, for 3 days later. I was only there for a 3-day trip. And they almost turned me away at the border. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous how stringent they are.
Oddly, I want to side with England on this one.
Yeah. They were probably right.
Yeah.
If you ever try and get there, you will quickly flip over to my side because seriously, they're odd about their unwillingness to let you into their country. It's like I'm going there to help your economy and buy your shit. Let me in.
Yeah, but they probably took one look at you and went, "Yeah, you're not going to help that much."
That's true. I mean, it's not like I'm especially wealthy.
Or handsome, or, you know...
Well, I'll disagree on the
intelligent, or talented.
Smart.
I mean, let's be honest, between the 3 of us, I'm definitely the most handsome and the most smart.
I don't know. I'm the one that actually, managed to land a chick, so...
I'm engaged right now.
Uh-huh. But we know my wife is real, so... That's all I'm saying.
So it's not technically a wife yet.
Oh, okay. And also, are you importing her from Korea?
No,
Russia?
Yeah, Russia. I don't know. She could be doing it for a green card. You have been... Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So,
This is bad.
Yeah, we...
Apparently, like, Canada's just a terrorism hotspot at the moment, so...
Oh, one thing happened!
Oh, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, it's actually ugly at the moment. Like, they've had 2 instances of people killing soldiers and policemen in the last couple days.
When I heard about the soldiers, what was the policeman?
One of them was in Montreal, one of them was in Ottawa, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah. Like, back-to-back days. Like I said, but anyway, video games. Terrorism is not fun. Video games are fun.
I don't know, I enjoy making fun of Spuds more.
And you enjoy trying to make fun of Spuds.
I think I was succeeding pretty well.
I mean, I'm sure you would think that you do.
Poor Zach's like, hey, I'm still here.
I'll let you guys just duke it out. I mean, that's fine. That's entertaining.
Alright. So you've since taken your career from Mygamer and done much better things with yourself.
Well, I mean, I still read Mygamer. Like, I feel nostalgic frequently. I've kicked the tires on going back into video games on many occasions, but, you know, my sloth wins out every time.
Yeah, it's not really the time to get back into games media.
No, things are kind of go sideways in the last few months, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's been getting a little ugly.
Yeah, and it's kind of I think it's really funny because as much as they tried to kick it under, like push it away, it's just very much not going away.
Oh, I mean, it's both sides are fucking a few meetings. The wretched scum villain.
You're dumb, really.
I didn't say that anyone was.
Well, you're breaking up so bad no one can hear you.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go on to an area.
Oh, are you on your phone?
No, how would I call you on Skype on a phone? Well, like a phone.
Yeah, there's like an app you can do.
Well, I know that there's a Skype app, but I'm not like calling in with like on phone signal.
Oh.
Anyway, can you hear me better than that?
Yeah, a little better.
Actually, I also closed down the actual stream or Twitch stream because bandwidth on Wi-Fi at the moment. So.
See, that's why I pay for top-tier internet.
I have good internet. It's just I'm a ways away from my modem or router at the moment. So.
All right. So, what else are you looking forward to, Zach? That's coming out?
And maybe you can speak a little bit more knowledgeably about this than I can, but The Legend of Korra also just came out. Do you watch that show?
No. Fuck no.
Oh, okay. Well, that just came out because I got a couple of press releases about that.
I saw it on Steam, and I've heard people talk about it, but...
I saw there's a 3DS game called Fantasy Life, and then Pokemon Art Academy actually is supposed to come out on Friday too. And I was actually at Target today, and they were already selling it. They were selling it early.
Wow, Target breaking a release date?
Look, yeah, I know, surprise for friggin' prize, huh?
That was like, there was a Target, not a Target, like a Walmart, where I went to college, that it was like this joke that if we were ever around it right before a game came out, to like just try and go and score the game there, because if they had it early, they didn't fucking care, they just put it out.
Yeah, they don't really care.
Yeah, well, like, the thing is, it's one of those, they can also take the fine, or, because if the fine is enacted, it's like, it can be $250,000 for breaking street date.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, if GameStop does it, that store is getting fucking closed.
What do you think your opinion is on Captain Toad Treasure Tracker?
I kind of want to play that game.
Did you play the latest Mario game on Wii U?
Yes, I loved.
It was a really good game, and there was like those mini games that basically is going to be like the whole Captain Toad game. So you can kind of get a taste for it by playing the latest. That comes out in December.
And that was, in my opinion, the weakest part of those games. But I didn't think it was by any stretch of the imagination bad.
I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, well, it wasn't a fully fleshed out game like how this is. So I'm sure there's going to be, tons of, content, and they're going to make an entire game out of it. So.
And they wanted it to be like quirky and interesting because you only had so many of them. So they couldn't make any of them overly difficult.
Right.
Whereas this one, I don't know. Nintendo, like, especially recently, doesn't seem like they've had an issue getting really, really hard. Like the new Super Mario Brothers on the Wii is insanely difficult.
Oh yeah, that's a hard game. So is Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah,
Tropical. That game is hard as shit.
Yeah. So I'm kind of interested. Like I'm always interested if they're just gonna like how deep are they gonna go. And like the 3D Mario game, the Star Road's nothing to fuck with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've stepped it up a notch, like with their especially Donkey Kong. I mean, that is a hard game.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that when that guy dies, you can run around for a little while afterwards. Did you get Tropical Freeze?
I bought Tropical Freeze. I played the first, I think 3 worlds, and then I gave up and I sold it and I traded it in to get something else because I was like, I was getting frustrated because I'm like, I just don't want to deal with this hard game right now. I played through the original game on Wii, I beat that. I got like all the secret stuff, and I was like, it's really more of the same here with Tropical Freeze. Yeah, you can play as Cranky Kong and do a Scrooge McDuck pogo bounce on your cane. But other than that, it's basically the same thing, just really hard levels. But at the same time, and that's not that it's a negative thing. It's like for me at the time, I don't want to deal with it. It was really tightly designed.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, I ended up buying the 3DS one.
Yeah.
And I didn't dislike that game by any stretch of the imagination, but it just, like, got really it's like no one's told Nintendo, like, hey, guys, it doesn't have to, like, get stupid hard, stupid fast, like, really fast.
You have to, like, from, like, level 2, it gets, it's like, it doesn't let up. It just kicks you right in the balls and keeps you there. It's a hard, both of them were, I think Tropical Freeze was even harder. I mean, you gotta make pixel perfect jumps. There's really, like, only, like, one way to complete a lot of levels. Like, you just have to get it perfect.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad game, and I don't want to sound like I'm calling it a bad game, because it's not. It's just a difficult game that I didn't want to put the energy into.
It's just a game I did not want to play.
Pretty much. At the time, there was something else I needed to play, too. I can't remember.
Anything that was not that game?
Like anything, yeah.
Seems like I'm getting worse at this game the longer I play.
Shocking.
Yeah. Which is always fun. So, yeah. No, I don't know, like, I like, Donkey, I want to like Donkey Kong. I've never actually liked Donkey Kong. It's like, when
like Donkey Kong Country, or like the original arcade game?
What? Country. I mean, the original game, it's kind of,
oh, okay.
I mean, like, the original game, there's not enough there to dislike.
Yeah. Well, at the time, Donkey Kong Country was a huge deal on Super Nintendo with, like, the pseudo 3D graphics, and, you really didn't see anything like it at the time, specifically on console.
I didn't even like it then, and I think I didn't like it then because it was difficult.
If you go back and play that game now, it does not hold up.
No, it's hard as fucking shit.
Yeah, it's not a good game to go back to right now.
I mean, I just never actually played it when it was new. I was all about Sonic, and then once I finally got a Super Nintendo, I was all about Mario World. So I just completely bypassed Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong 64.
Well, the thing is, like, if you had a Super Nintendo when it came out, by the time, Donkey Kong was like a super late gen game.
There was 3 Donkey Kong countries.
Yeah, but it came out like towards the end of it.
Yeah, they were cranking them out like once a year, I think, after the first one.
Yeah.
And then Donkey Kong 3, that was at the end of the Super Nintendo's life cycle.
Well, like, the Super Nintendo was already kind of aging when Donkey Kong came out. And, like, by the time that came out, you were just looking for anything to play on that system. That was a solid platformer.
Yep.
Because, I mean, like, what else were you gonna fucking play?
Yeah, that was basically it at the end of the life cycle there. Because everybody was getting hyped up for N64 and wanted to play Mario 64.
But also something that always freaks me out when I think about it is the freaking PlayStation 1 came out in 1994. Like, I mean, when you think of how soon that was after the actual release of the Super Nintendo, even though it didn't catch its stride until a bit after, I mean, it really...
Oh, yeah.
It really blows your mind about how quickly the PlayStation ended up blowing up.
Yeah, early PlayStation 1 games, they came in like a huge box.
Oh yeah, they were awful.
They were awful. I mean,
there was like Ridge Racer, and that was it.
There was like Ridge Racer, and I think there was like Bust-A-Move.
Suikoden.
Oh, yeah.
Suikoden, but that was also, like, barely not a Super Nintendo game.
And what was that fighting game? There was some fighting game.
Battle
Toshinden Arena.
Yeah, Battle Arena Toshinden.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it for quite a while there.
Yeah. You know, there are people that actually will be like, bring back Battle Arena. And it's like, no.
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Like, Yeah, I've made an attempt to go back and play that game, like, in the last 10 years, because I actually own it.
I commend you for that.
Well, I had a lot. It was because it was a launch game and it was a fighting game, and one of my friends had it. So I have a lot of good memories associated with playing those. And, like, that game held on because it was a launch game. And that was the only fighting game on that system for a while.
I mean, yeah, like I said, the fact that the PlayStation 1 had a life cycle that dated back so far before it was actually a thing. I mean,
I mean, that's 20 years ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, and here's something even better. So the freshmen in college this year... So freshmen
They
in
were born in
college...
1995?
18. So that would be 96.
1996, 97?
Yeah, 96.
Oh,
So
that was like when the N64 came.
yeah. So here's an even better thought. That's even more depressing. The older you get, they have no memories of The Simpsons being good on the air. All of their good memories of of when The Simpsons were actually good
When I was
are
teaching
from like DVDs.
when I was in South Korea, I taught kids of, ranging from 5 or 6 up to like 17, and the vast majority of them had no idea what a VCR was.
Yeah, that's
And that it's that kind of stuff that just blows your mind about how freaking old you are.
no. What should blow your mind is the amount of times that I'm asked to hook up a VCR for someone at work.
The VHSs still exist?
We have to have one at my job, in every building, just in case.
That sucks.
Yeah, no, it sucks a lot. And it's like, I just want to look at some of the professors and be like, you guys do understand that, like, your tapes have a limited lifespan, and they're
You
quickly
realize this
approaching
medium
it.
died 15 years ago, right?
They were making those tapes. I will give them up to 10 years ago.
And maybe in like South America, maybe.
No, you could probably get most massive releases still on VHS until 2004. I wouldn't say that's that much of a stretch. But, like, still, that was... I mean, a VHS has a 20-year lifespan.
Yeah, it's definitely good. But...
Well, yeah, that's if it's kept correctly as well. So, like, if you keep it in a hot, humid environment, that goes down to maybe 5 years. So if you don't care, that thing's dead.
And my dad is one of those guys, and his VHSs still mostly work. Like he's one of those guys. He actually has a bunch of like old WWE, WWF in some cases tapes that he made of like The Rock and Steve Austin when they were the big names. And they
How
still
old?
work.
Your dad doesn't sound older than me.
He was like 30 at the time.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, I can remember that.
No, my dad was like a full-blown lifer for the WWE.
Oh, okay. I remember when they changed their name and how
I do too.
how pissed off everyone involved was.
Freaking pandas, man.
Well, and it's like, how many people do you really think make that confusion?
Some.
Yeah, and the answer was enough that apparently it mattered.
And it was the WWF, the World Wildlife Fund, or Foundation, whichever one it is, that actually, instigated
Yeah, the name change.
legal action.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the World Wrestling Federation that
That wanted
dedicated all their millions of dollars in donations to that.
Yeah, it was. I never understood. Like, do you really think that people are sending the WWF checks for like hundreds of dollars in like abject confusion and being like, "This'll help," and like they're sitting there and going, "Oh, all right, I guess you guys are getting more Botox." Like,
It's the 20-year anniversary of Final Fantasy VI.
that's even more depressing.
How much
That's
does
not
that suck?
too big because I didn't actually play it until years after it was released. So
I played it right away. That's good shit.
I got that the day it came out.
Oh yeah, there's really nothing like it. Still hasn't, one of a kind.
I like 4 for the story better. 6 falls apart halfway through.
No, I don't. No way.
6
Six is the king.
6 turns into a fetch quest in the World of Ruin.
You build up your party again.
Yeah, and
You lose. Like the game makes you lose.
And
Like
that-
no
yeah.
other game does that.
exactly. And I understand that it was a good thing, like it was impressive at the time, but you have to remember that it literally said, "All right, we're not going to give you direction anymore," and you have to walk around on your own with no clues and do everything.
I think that's what makes it good. It's like open-ended, open world.
It was a
Like the
really
exact opposite of 13 and
yes. Yeah. Okay, I'll agree with that. But it also there was no substance at halfway through. It was this really amazing game up until that point, and then all of a sudden, it was just kind of done.
I actually
think it's the best. I think it's the best Final Fantasy. It's one of the best games I think ever made.
I actually really, really like 5. I didn't play it when it came out. I only played.
5 is my
nobody.
favorite of the old school Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's played 5.
I beat it.
Yeah, I beat it too, yeah.
On the Game Boy Advance. Yeah. I thought that was pretty fantastic. But
Yeah, no one. That's always the one Final Fantasy game that never gets the least amount of recognition, the least amount of love.
well, in the States,
In the States, yes, for sure.
supposedly that game was fully localized and ready to come over.
But they just
They
did it.
pulled the plug
Because it-
last minute, and it's one of those things that like the first Earthbound game, Mother was fully localized and ready to
Yep.
come over, and last minute they pulled the plug.
Yep.
And it's like one of those things that no one fully knows why the stuff happened. It's like you've done all of the work.
Final Fantasy V is actually one of the few games that I actually own on PSN because I bought it because it was like $2 or something. Like a few months ago, there was like a Square Enix sale, and I bought it thinking that one day I'm going to buy the PlayStation TV and I can play it, on my PlayStation TV.
Not compatible.
No, as a
Probably
random,
not.
probably not. But as a random note, Square Enix. Now I haven't been in the video game business for a little bit now, but I have been in the business, and I would discourage you from getting especially hopeful on any given upcoming Square Enix release.
Oh,
Yes,
why is that?
or Capcom. Remember how THQ went out?
Yeah, but they own Tomb Raider.
So
Fair enough. It really wouldn't surprise me if Square goes under.
When THQ went under, they went out in a blaze of sales, humble bundles, and liquidation, and just trying to get as much capital as possible. And Square Enix and Capcom have both been doing the same thing. And Capcom already has a for sale sign up. Capcom is already looking for buyers.
Yeah.
Square Enix is not far behind. Even though, Capcom a few months ago announced, and I wrote the piece up for Shoryuken.com, that they were looking for. Well, first they announced that they were looking to relocalize their development crew. They were basically dumping all their American crews, bringing back all their game development to Japan.
Well, yeah, they got rid of Seth.
Yeah. They got rid of
Unceremoniously, the guy that basically revitalized their entire industry, they showed the door.
I mean, he actually left on his own. He got a better job offer from Sony.
Yeah, I'm sure that. I'm sure
The writing might have been on the wall for sure. But,
Yeah, I'm sure that was That was like one of those things that it was like.
Like, Sony freaking has this Legion of Doom group of community managers right now. They got Seth Killian, they got Shane Bettenhausen, who obviously came from Capcom and Ignition, respectively, and they just recently picked up Dan Shu of Venture Beat slash Bitmob slash EGM.
Well, yeah, but
Like,
Shane Bettenhausen was EGM too.
Yeah, and they're just scooping up all the awesome dudes that they can, basically. But yeah, Capcom, honestly, all the major Jap, and I mean, Final, when you look at what Square Enix is putting out, it's basically been all cheap cash in because they just need that liquidity. So the easiest, fastest way they can make get a quick cash in is
like Final Fantasy, all the bravest.
Like Kingdom Hearts HD Remix, like Kingdom Hearts 2 HD Remix, like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 released on PSN, that kind of stuff.
You know, I didn't hate all the bravest until it was like, all right, buy more characters. And, oh, by the way, they're random. Oh, and if you want a random chance at like a name character like Cloud, that's going to be twice the price.
Because
I never actually played it, but that sounds like Square Enix.
Oh yeah, it was like.
I mean,
it's the Square Enix tax that you have to pay.
Honestly, just Japanese developers have not figured out how this whole DLC thing works as a whole yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, you still get Japanese RPG games that like you look at and it's like, what's the DLC? Oh, a level up pack for $5.
I mean, if you look at Dota 2, Valve freaking just straight up swindled people into buying the TI4 compendiums and made a cool $30 million to $50 million out of it.
Oh, is that what the final count on that one was?
It ended up being like something like that. They the prize pool ended up growing to like, what was it, $20 million or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I honestly don't remember, but either way, they skimmed the 75% of the money off of the compendiums. It ended up making them close to $30 million just on the compendiums. But then you have to pay money to make your compendium better so you can get the stuff that the compendium is supposed to come with. You basically buy the opportunity to give them more money. And like I said, Valve ends up making tens of millions of dollars off of this, and meanwhile, Square Enix is rolling out this random crap that nobody really wants or needs, and they wonder why they're going under while American development teams are just taking over.
Well, what was it? There was like a company earnings call that someone straight up said, like, if it wasn't for the purchase of Eidos, Square Enix wouldn't have made it through last year.
I believe that. I mean, Square Enix, and like I said, just basically all major Japanese developers that are left, just don't know what they're doing. I mean, if you look at the major developers that are actually making money right now, they know how to use DLC, right? And they have their own publishing online digital distribution service. Like Valve, like EA, like Ubisoft, all of them. They have.
Yeah, but Ubisoft's one is garbage.
Yeah, Uplay is stupid, but they have it, and they're actually making money. I mean, if you look at other publishers like Square Enix, they don't have that.
Hey, they have Play Online.
I mean, I guess. I mean, honestly, I didn't even remember that until you just mentioned it, and I vaguely remember from Final Fantasy XI.
Yeah. Do you know Final Fantasy XI is their most profitable thing ever?
I believe that. I mean,
well, it's because the people who play it pay a monthly fee every month.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
And I mean, they kind of started half-assing it after like the first 6 months.
I hear some of the expansions are all right.
Yeah, but you had to pay $50 for them.
They were $30.
$30 for it?
Yeah, for 11's expansions, they were never.
I'll take your word for it. I played way too much Final Fantasy 11 on my 56K modem on the PS2. Yeah, I actually.
Oh, you had okay. I had played it on the
I had
PC.
the PS2.
Oh,
Yeah, that would explain why they were more expensive for you because you had to rebuy the fucking game.
I mean,
Yes.
it just. In all the different peripherals that I bought, that's probably like the biggest literal sink of money.
Hey,
I paid $100 for that and got nothing.
I
And
remember.
paid $15 a month after.
I remember it was only 11.
$11 a month after.
I remember playing, what was it, EverQuest Adventures. That if you bought the
Oh,
modem,
yeah.
they would let you beta test, and then that game never came out. Alright, I think that's good for this week.
Yeah.
Alright. So, this is Dan Gilman. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Gilman. You can follow me on Mygamer. It's a site I write for occasionally and do streams for. It's mygamer.com or my personal website, farms.net. The stream will be posted both those places later. Zach?
I am Zach Gazrowski. You can follow me at ZachGaz. Of course, check out mygamer.com and my personal blog at squallsnake.com.
And this week we had special guest Spuds join us. If you'd like
And
to talk about yourself, feel free.
I'm on Twitter at srondina, ROSRONDINA. And I don't actually talk about video games all that much anymore, but I occasionally do.
Alright, so I guess we'll see you all next week. Hopefully we'll finally be playing Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bayonetta 2.
Yeah. So, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.